Cup runneth over. Today we're going to be talking about the dangers of disbelief. This series is about trying to bring the belief levels of the apostles and the belief levels of us today closer together. Why? So that we can do the same things that they did in the scriptures. The big difference between us and them is our level of faith, our level of belief. Last video, we looked at who the disbelievers were. Now we're going to look at what the dangers of disbelief are. So this is the main danger. So right here, we're going to look at a parable of Christ. We're going to come from Mark 5, and I am going to delve into Luke 8 just for a touch. It's the same parable, but it's just giving you a different viewpoint, a different perspective on the same story. So I think it's good to get, different perspectives from different gospels. This is Mark 5, 35 through 43. All right. This is a parable about Christ's healing. All right, here we go. Verse 35. While he yet spake, there came from the ruler of the synagogue's house certain which said, thy daughter is dead. So Christ is at the synagogue speaking, right? And the ruler of the synagogue, the master of the synagogue, has a daughter. And the people are coming to report that his daughter is dead. Now let's see how Christ responds. It says, thy daughter is dead. Why troublest thou the master any further? Verse 36. And as soon as Yeshua heard the word that was spoken, he said unto the ruler of the synagogue, be not afraid, only believe. So as soon as you get the troubling news, as soon as you hear something that is contrary, that is negative, hey, be not afraid, only believe. So this is what it says here in Luke 8, verse 50. But when Yeshua heard it, he answered him saying, fear not, believe only, and she shall be made whole. So now, when you're going through your situation, when you're going through your circumstance, hey, the instruction is to fear not, believe only. This is key, and we're going to see why. We underestimate our level of belief and our level of faith. We underestimate the importance of it, all right? So let's keep going through the story. Here we go. And I'm back in Mark 5, verse 37. And he suffered no man to follow him, save Peter and James and John, the brother of James. So Christ said, hey, nobody follow me except the believers. Everybody else, y'all got to stay back. Y'all can't come. I'm only bringing the strongest of the strongest ox. This is a life and death situation, right? The strongest of the strongest believers, the ones with the most faith, the ones who actually believe. Verse 38, let's keep going. And he cometh to the house of the ruler of the synagogue, and seeth the tumult, and them that wept and wailed greatly. Verse 39, and when he was come in, he said unto them, why make ye this ado and weep? He said, hey, why is everybody so down? Why is everybody so sad? What he's trying to do is get them to change their countenance. He's trying to get them to cheer up immediately. Why? Because he knows this affects things. Let's keep going. It says, the damsel is not dead, but sleepeth. Verse 40. And they laughed him to scorn. And they laughed him to scorn. So that means that in this serious time, in this time where everybody needs a miracle to happen, where this man's daughter's life is on the line, even though they was wailing and they was weeping, they laughed him to scorn through their disbelief. So what did he do next? Let's finish this verse. Then we're going to jump to Luke. It says, but when he had put them all out, he taketh the father and the mother of the damsel and them that were with him and entered in where the damsel was lying. So he said, hey, all disbelievers, everybody who ain't on the regimen, everybody who don't got their mind right, everybody who ain't equally yoked, y'all got to get out, bro. I can't do nothing with y'all around. Let's look and see what happened. And Luke 8, verse 52. And all wept and bewailed her. But he said, weep not, she is not dead, but sleepeth. Verse 53. And they laughed him to scorn, knowing that she was dead. Knowing. So you have to have faith that wind is real. No, you know it's real. You can't see it. You can't touch it. But when it blows, you feel it. If you wave your hand like this, you feel particles going past your face. Those are supposedly gas particles. That's what we were taught, right? So I know I feel something. I don't need faith to believe that, right? So I know, that's why it says knowing that she was dead. That's how much faith they had that she was dead. That's how sure they were that she was dead. They knew that she was dead, right? Same way, you know, when the wind blows, there's something there, but you can't see it. I can't see it. I know something is there, right? If there's a gas leak, you can't see the gas, but you know it's there. Why? Because you can smell it. You don't need faith you don't have to believe in the gas leak. You can smell it. You can't see it. You can smell it, right? This is the difference, right? Between faith and knowing. Knowing is actually perfect faith. Knowing is actually perfect faith. If you know that the Father is going to deliver you. Hey, I have no concerns. I have no worries. I know that Abba is good. I know he's taking care of my family. I know he's going to deliver us from this situation. I know tomorrow will be better than today. Why? Because I'm changing my life. I'm changing my ways. I'm changing my intentions. So tomorrow, if I seek the kingdom, all things must be added. That's the level of faith we got to have. We got to know that all things are coming. We got to know if we seek the kingdom and his righteousness, that all things will come to pass. All things that are on the earth will work for the good of those that believe, that love, right? So here we go. Let's keep going through this. We back in Mark 5. So after they entered in where the damsel was sleeping, right? Verse 41. Here we go. And he took the damsel by the hand and said unto her, Talitha Kuma, which is being interpreted, damsel, I say unto thee, arise. Hey, they actually give you the words. They give you the breakdown. Hey, tell somebody to get up. If you don't remember nothing out of the Bible, you might want to remember that one. All right, here we go. But you got to have the faith to go along with it. Let's go. Verse 42. And straightway the damsel arose and walked, for she was of the age of 12 years. And they were astonished with a great astonishment. Verse 43. And he charged them straitly that no man should know it. Hey, he said, hey, don't tell nobody. And then next he said, and commanded that something should be given her to eat. So he said, hey, make sure y'all give her something to eat, man. She alive, man. Get her back up in good faith. All right, so that's really the story, man. This is what the danger of disbelief is. The danger of disbelief is if you don't have people around you that believe, your miracles may not come to pass. Because when you look at it, right, the key piece of this, right, it comes in verse 40. It says, but when he had put them all out, he taketh the father and the mother of the damsel and them that were with him and entered in where the damsel was lying. So he only took the believers he brought with him and the father and the mother who really needed, who really wanted, who really cared about the person. Not somebody who was laughing him and scoring outside. Make sure you got the strongest believers with you who really are down and who are really praying and believing. This is how we avoid the danger of disbelief, because we can really just look and see, right, in the scriptures, right? When Christ was in his hometown, what happened? This is Matthew 13, verses 57 through 58. And they were offended in him. But Yeshua said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, save in his own country and in his own house. Why? Because there was a lack of faith at his hometown, right? So last verse, verse 58, it says, and he did not many mighty works there because of their unbelief, because of their lack of faith. So the first people that we said were not going to believe, to be the disbelievers, are your own people. So when Christ is in his hometown, right, he couldn't do any miracles. Why? Because there was a lack of faith. There was too much disbelief around. This is affecting you. This is why I'm saying it. I'm trying to get our levels of faith and the levels of circle back up to Christ and the 12 apostles. Back up to the 12 apostles without Christ. They still did many works. I'm reading through Acts heavy right now. Hey, we need to get our faith levels back up, man. Believe only. Fear not. Talitha Kuma. My people dead. They sleeping. Talitha Kuma. I'm saying, hey, Talitha Kuma. Get up.
0, 1. Let's get started.